So in this video, I'm doing minimum size subarray sum. Given an array of positive integers nums and a positive integer target, return the minimum length of a subarray whose sum is greater than or equal to target. If there's no such subarray, return 0 instead. Okay. So Okay, so this is definitely a sliding window problem. I have my array, and what I want to do is I want to keep like a window of the current subarray. And so what I need to do is I need to start here, and then I need to keep extending this window until I've reached my target. So then I'll keep track of the current value of my subarray, which will be equal to like whatever number, which should be greater than target, and then also the length of the subarray. And then I'll have my initial length, and then what I'll do is I will remove from the left side, so it would just be 3 1, and then while it is smaller than the target, I will add from the right side, so go this. Then again, I would while it is greater or equal to 7, so I'll keep removing from the left side until I have the minimum subarray that is greater or equal to my target. If it's smaller, then I'll just add from the right side, and then I'll just kind of make my sliding window like that until I reach the end, at which point I can just return the smallest length. So let me go ahead and code this out. I think I have a good idea of what I need to do. So let's say int subarray length. Okay, and then we'll say int car sum equals nums at 0. Okay. And I'll have int position equals 0. Okay. So, and then subarray length we can just start as 1. Okay. So if car sum is equal to target, or is greater than or equal to target, then we just return subarray length, because it's never gonna, it's not possible for it to be smaller than 1, the length. So we'll say return subarray length. Sorry. Okay, now we'll say while position is smaller than nums.length. Okay, while so we'll say right now, okay, so if if car sum is smaller than target, that means we need to increase the car sum. So we'll say position plus plus, and then we'll say and then actually we'll put a while in here. So then if car sum is target, while, okay, actually sorry, we just do this as one. So while car sum is smaller than target, position plus plus, car sum plus equals nums at position. Okay, and then we'll say So now that we have something that's bigger than or equal to target, then we say actually subarray length cannot be 1 because it's not a valid subarray yet. So we'll say subarray equals nums so we need to make this max because it's not yet, like, we don't have any valid subarrays here. So but this would be a valid subarray because we're saying until card sum is small, while card sum is smaller than target. So then after this loop, card sum will be greater than target. So then we can say sub array length equals math dot minimum of subarray length and card sum. Okay, and now okay, so I actually need two pointers. For the sliding window I need the start and the end. So we'll make this end position, and then we'll also have start position. We can do start, we can do camel case. End position. Okay. End position while end position. Okay. So okay, and then we'll say while car sum is greater or equal to target, then we'll say then we'll say car sum minus equals nums at start position. This should go here actually. So while it's smaller than target, we increment it and we make it so that is okay. Now here, subarray length equals max domain, and we say car sum, we decrement the nums at start position. So and then we say okay, and we say start position plus plus, and at the end of this loop we can return sub array len. So let me walk through this logic now and double check that I'm doing it correctly. So okay, we have our current sum, which is the starting sum, which is equal to just the first value in the array, which we know there's going to be at least one value in the array. If okay, here actually, so if sub array len equals integer dot max value, meaning that it was never changed, then we return 0. Otherwise we return subarray length. Okay, there we go. So our start position and end position are both 0 because that's where we're just starting at right now. If car sum is greater or equal to target, then we return 1, 1, because that's the minimum length. Okay, so while n position is smaller than the numbers at length, while car sum is smaller than target, we're gonna move this n position forward and add that to our current sum until we reach 7, for example. And then while current sum is greater or equal to target, we're gonna set it as the new subarray length, depending on if it's smaller than the current subarray length. And then we're gonna keep on like moving away from the left side, so cutting away elements from the left side and seeing. So we then remove the element at the start position, so at 0, and then we see if it is still greater or equal to target. So we do this as much as we can while ensuring that it's still greater or equal to target. And then after a point when it becomes smaller than target, then this loop will end and we'll come back to here, where again we will add on to the right side of target. So I think the logic makes sense to me. And then here we are returning the subarray length, or 0 if it has not changed from its original value. So let's give it a run. Okay. Okay, I think, okay, so I just need to add that same check here, so we don't go out of bounds. Okay, time limit exceeded. Okay. We'll put that same -1 here. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we actually should not, we're right now we're putting the current sum in the result, when in reality we should be putting the length of the array when the current sum is valid. So we, instead of putting car sum here, we should be putting I think it's so let's say start pause is 0, end pause is 2. It should be 2 minus 0. No, it should be end pause plus 1 minus start pause. So then if here is, for example, this is 1, this is 2, 3 minus, okay, so end, I think that's end position plus 1 minus start position. That's what we should be putting in here, not the actual sum. So let's give this another run. Syntax error. Okay, works for all these cases. Looks good. Let's try it for everything. Okay, perfect. There we go.